All right. Okay. All right, you guys. This is gonna be mystic message, but personal ascension vlog. Kind of, it's all mixed in today. Okay, because it's still Christmas. Yeah. No, but because, as I've said in other videos, this accelerated ascension process, or whatever you want to call it, this acceleration of the battle for Earth, or the spiritual battle that has been going on between right and wrong, or between separation and unity, or whichever way you want to put it, doesn't really matter. I spoke to someone today, and he said, well, I think it's okay for us just to say it's between good and evil, and not get more complicated than that. Anyways, because all this has been hitting me so fantastically, and because of certain aspects of myself, which I talked about in another video, which is the O negative bloodline, and I think there are other things that are the actual real reasons why some of us are accelerating in other ways. So this is my personal ascension vlog, and I want to tell you that, you know, ever since Christmas, it's been a wild ride. And at a certain point in there, I did have two big, giant, snowy white owls come in my window, you know, while I was dreaming, but it seemed so real. And then I couldn't do a video on, I did a video on that, but I didn't upload it because it was just so, I was like this, I was in this intense energy. Now, what is this intense energy? Is it because I'm crazy and I just don't know it? No. It's because the Schumann Resonance of Earth hit 170 last night. And I'm so, like, full of energy right now. Like, I don't have my normal mind to start explaining to you what the Schumann resonance is, what it does, and all that stuff, okay? What I need to do for myself, and I don't know if you will benefit from this or not. I never do. Do I? I mean, I do. I need to read the cards. So, and that's because I need to access the part of me which is beyond my ego and all that stuff. Now, we have all come so far at this point, you guys. Like, we have figured out that we have a long history. We've figured out that there's more than one kind of human on the planet. We've figured out that, you know, the government has a secret government behind it. We've figured out things like implants, and, you know, we're so, like, wow. And I'm going to shuffle up all my decks and while I'm battling. And people are, I want to reassure some people about the coronavirus, okay? I'm going to just throw some things down at you. Now, if you have been told by your doctor that your blood pressure is low, that you don't have much iron, that you have low iron levels, or that you have low blood pressure, and if you have, like, kind of, you look at your eyes and you're like, why are my eyes weird? Why won't they just be brown, or why are they just slightly not like regular blue or whatever? And also, like, you've gone through your whole life and you're like, hey, how come everyone else is sick and I don't get sick? It's quite possible. I just did, like, a ton of research on O negative, you know, scientific journals, blah, blah, blah. And I found out that disease and viral infections are fought off by antigens on our blood cells. And that, ladies and germs, is the reason why some people get the cold and others don't. Some people get the flu and others don't. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any good reason, right? How come? Well, it's blood. It's all about the blood. So I actually have that to say as well, is that we want to look at ourselves and do our shadow work and go, well, I must be evil because good and evil are part of everything, and everything is inherently good and inherently evil. It's a balance. It's a lesson. No, it's not, actually. Evil is bad and needs to go. So we have tried to, you know, reason with this aspect. We've tried to integrate this aspect. We've just done everything we can, and basically there's no way to deal with this puppy. And that's why it actually needs to be, how we say in computer land, deleted. So that's what's happening. And I'm sorry, aren't I? No, yes, no, yes. So I don't know. I just know that I actually, I'm very isolated. I have few people to talk to about any of this that don't already think I'm way too crazy to, you know, actually confer with about much of anything. And then I have a few other, so I will actually go to walk up to or start conversations with strangers that I know have a physiological propensity to the ascension. And I will ask them like really weird questions, and then they will answer me like they are actually getting it. And so what I can tell you is, as I've said, and the reason I even started making these videos is because even though I've been aware of the prophecies and I've been very involved in being a seeker for many, many years, you know, now it's here. Yeah. So I feel like giving you a ton of advice, but I can't. It's just I'm so not even at this point. There seems to be this thing where it's like everything is drifting away. It's kind of going further and further away. It's like I can't read my own self because the print is too small. And unfortunately, I can read everyone around me, and it's causing me issues because I go out and I start reading people's minds, and and it's making them uncomfortable. And I just had two friends, the last two people I had in my house, come to me today and say, I really had a good time at your place, but it was a little bit frightening how much you were able to get inside our heads. And I was like, yeah. But at the same time, this is what we all used to do. We didn't even use this. We just, you know what I mean? Or at least this is part of my history in somewhere, like our history. I'm super babbling, okay? Schumann, 170. This is what it does to some people. All right, so I'm going to flip up cards, look at them, and start babbling. Whenever I do that, it grounds me, and and wisdom just, you know, says, hey, I will hang out with you. So let's start with the Earth Warriors. It's Alana Fairchild. She's amazing. I don't know where the book is. Darn, because the book is so good. Just a minute, okay? I don't get the book. I'm not allowed to have the book. You know, sometimes you're not allowed to have the book. All right, Ingonyama, honor of the ancient king. So what I'm going to say about this is this. In all of these different disciplines and all of these different wisdoms and all of these different spiritualities and all these different religions, in the end, and even if you go into self-realization mode and you don't use any of those at all, you're going to end up with the Creator. At the end of the day, you're going to end up with an eternal consciousness or an eternal being, whether it be named or unnamed. And you, as a spiritual seeker, you have to make the decision. Is this being good or bad? And you have to, at some point, make your way to the source. And that is what this is all about, okay? This is about, in my opinion, this entire reality is made up of fractalizations of this source God, because this source God is going through the process of self-realization. This God is doing its shadow work, and this is what it looks like. Nice. So anyways, but when this all returns to, when it comes out of its retreat, if you follow me, and coalesces back together, the process of getting rid of what no longer serves the Creator, right? Just like we're told. This is the guidance we give ourselves. We are to go deep within, and then we are to release what we find in there when we find the dark, hidden, grungy, dirty, nasty things. We are advised to clean ourselves. And of course, that's what's happening right now. I know it sounds biblical and it sounds like a moral judgment and a bunch of stuff like that. I don't even care. I don't care what you think of it, because it's happening, and it's needed and it's logical. All right, now the next card comes from the Rider-Waite deck, and it's the Three of Cups. And who are those three women? I'll tell you who they are. Number one is homeless woman. Number two is woman who lost her children to the government. And number three is woman who actually was killed, kidnapped, or took her own life. And these are the Inno Saints. I watched a video of a woman, I can't remember her name, and she did a bunch of research on the word saint, and she came up with innocent. And you know what? The other thing about this time and what's happening is that the script is flipping, and the powers are flipping. The status quo is changing. And at the end of this tumultuous time with the economy going crazy, the government going crazy, everything, and all these good things, it's going to be these women I just mentioned, except they're going to be celebrating because they are going to be revered for who they are as life givers. And the forgotten goddess, of course, she can't stay forgotten forever. I've said that before. And now the James Wanless deck would like me to know, how do we manage the anger? What do you do when the dark side pushes up against you? What is this thing called anger? Why does Buddha guide us away from it so very much? Because it is a vibration. It is an energy. It is a frequency. It is a low frequency. Not to be confused with power or strength or courage. Anger is none of those things. And I think that we have absolutely no way of knowing how much we are being controlled from outside by anger, frustration, stress, and anxiety. And I think that a lack of justice is running through our lives every day at every moment. And I think this kind of creates a low level of anger in all of us that can come out in different times in different ways, and I don't think it ever comes out appropriately. Certainly not for me. Except for when I was up on the Mount Elphinstone and I was yelling at loggers and I was angry and I was saying, "Stop raping your Earth Mother. You're killing your source of food." I was angry, but then I cried. And so I think anger needs to be a passageway. And if your anger doesn't have a purpose, then it's one of those things we're going to have to forget. Wow, I do feel better already. I'm trying to think of what else I really want to tell you guys that is sort of like the information downloads that I'm getting. I guess that I want to tell you that if you have any kind of like paranoid fears that you've had over years, I want to tell you you're right about them and you need to do something about them now. I want to tell you that the coronavirus and the natural disasters are trying to remind you that the way of life of the modern human is shit. It doesn't matter how prettily you dress it up. So I think that there will be bloodlines and there will be spiritual kind of bloodlines, or there's a physiological heritage and a spiritual heritage that is actually going to keep a lot of people perfectly safe from all of the things I mentioned, like coronavirus and natural disasters. And I think I really want to make this video because I want you to calm down, and I want you to just let go and realize that all of the negativity and all the crap that has come to your life, it was never yours in the first place. It really never was. You know it. You know that. Now, there are other people on this planet, and they know damn well that they crossed lines they can never go back from. You know, a lot of us, whatever we are, I'm not going to label us in this moment, but let's just say, you know, a lot of us, you know, we're the ones that ask ourselves, oh my God, am I an abuser? Am I a narcissist? Oh my God, what have I done? We're not the people who did it. Do you get it? Like, I really want to free you right now, because the people who really are the narcissists have no friggin' clue they're a narcissist. The people who are really, really super evil and they think they're they don't get it. They have no self-regulation. They have no conscience to stop and even question what they're doing. All right? I want you to be happy, because mercy and forgiveness and love and compassion are yours. They were always yours, and they will always be yours. Nothing can take it from you. Not war, not the coronavirus, not the government, not the police, not the courts. Please. We are very powerful, eternal, spiritual beings in this body, in this time. You know who you are. You are what you like. Okay. I'm going to end this with a big crystal transmission, all right? You are protected. You wouldn't be here watching this right now.